Hi, welcome back to Michael Newton Golf. If you suffer with rushing at your downswing, then you need to stay tuned. I'm going to help you out with that particular problem and get you smoothing your transition and get your striking that golf ball better. So if you're regular to the channel, then welcome back. Thanks for viewing and thanks for supporting. If you're new to the channel and you're liking the content I'm putting out there, then hit that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, MNG logo, and get subscribed. Hit that bell icon for future notifications so you don't miss a single video that I land on my channel. Okay, so we're going to talk about not rushing your downswing, which is something that I definitely suffer with myself, and I think many of you out there will also do the same. So we basically get to the top of that backswing, and before we've really sometimes finished the backswing, we just get very fast and very jerky and edgy into that downswing, and that can tend to create a lot of timing issues as well as club delivery issues into the golf ball and obviously different strikes. So I've recently done a video about shallowing the shaft on the downswing and how we sort of shallow that to create a more consistent delivery, and this very much sort of ties into it. To allow you to make that sort of movement, then we need to be a little bit smoother on that transition as we go from that upswing to that downswing. So that's what we're going to really talk about today. So rushing that downswing, I think this really sort of comes from a number of reasons. Maybe whether you're a little bit nervous on that golf course, whether that's the first tee or is that pressure shot when you're out there in a tight game or a match or a medal round where you're doing particularly well, maybe start to get a bit nervous. We tend to sort of rush the downswing, or maybe that scenario where you think, okay, I'm feeling really good here, I'm hitting the ball really well, and as golfers we get a little bit greedy. We think, well, we can just step on that gas a little bit, hit it a little bit further, it's going to be a little bit better, you know, go for that big carry that out there that maybe we shouldn't be doing, and then that sequence of events from the top of the downswing into impact can just sort of get muddled up and basically out of sequence, and obviously that creates the curvature issues and the strike issues. So maybe sometimes we get, you know, up to the top of that swing there and we just get a very sort of quick with the hands into it. And then you see that one I caught a little bit heavy there, so not a great strike. I just went very fast at it with my hands. So how do we actually slow that down? So I think we've got to try and get a feeling that it's not the hands and the arms that are going to start that downswing. And this is where it very much ties into that video I did about shallowing that sort of downswing here. So I want you to really have the feel that it's the lower half that's going to actually start the downswing. So we get to the top of that backswing. I'm going to make sure we finish it. We hit our nice sort of turn and rotation. We finish the backswing. So we're not getting sort of just before we get to the top and then we start that downswing as the body's still trying to make that backswing movement. So we're going to actually finish that backswing, get a nice shoulder turn there, and then as we come down I want you to try and feel like it's this left side of the body that actually starts it. So this left hip, left knee, so that starts to go a little bit across. We've got a little bit of bumping, and as you're doing that you're going to have a feel like you're going to leave the club and the hands up and in the top of that backswing. Now also they are going to move down, but I want you to have the feeling that they stay up there. So ultimately they're not sort of coming in before we then turn the body. Because again that can create that shaft to steepen up, which I talked about in that other video. So we get to the top of the backswing there. I'm going to feel like this left hip, left knee sort of starts it by bumping across and then starting to turn sort of a left basically around that sort of corner in a way. So, and it's that movement and motion that's going to actually start to bring this down, which keeps it back up in. That's that feeling I want you to have of keeping that club on the way back. So if I just do it this way round to you, sort of square on down the target line there, we get to the top of that backswing, and it's going to be that knee and that left hip that start it, and I'm trying to keep the club back this way as this left side turns left, and that's the feeling. And again, you see so many of the tour players get into that sort of position where you see that laying of that shaft, that softening of that shaft as the hips are turning strong left. Now obviously those guys are real athletes nowadays, and they're getting some very flexible sort of movements here. So I'm not saying that you are going to get into that movement, but I want you to maybe just take that emphasis out of the hands and the arms starting the downswing and allow the body to sort of do it and create that, what I call a little bit of a delay of the club head reaching that golf ball. So that's where the body turns, the club gets left behind in a way as a feeling, and it's delayed getting into it. So it feels like you're opening up before you get into that impact position. Okay, so I'm going to hit one here. I'm going to try and get that sequence and feel that left hip, left knee starting that downswing, and just try and keep that transition a little bit smoother. Yeah, good, lovely ball flight there and a nice strike. So I think sometimes when golfers tried to keep the downswing smoother, they just drop the whole speed of the swing down altogether. But I don't really want you to do that. I want you to sort of be hitting the ball pretty hard at the bottom of the swing and feeling the speed at the bottom and into that follow through. So you're still committing to the shot, because that's the one big thing that can happen is when you just slow down and hear it all the time, don't we, on the golf course. If you hit a bad shot, your playing partner will say, bit quick there, bit quick, bit fast there, you know, and it's you think, all right, well, I'll slow this down. Then we sometimes get into that position where we're just slow and there's no zip at the bottom of that swing. There's no commitment. And again, that strike is going to be really, it's going to really suffer because of that. So still want you to have the speed, but not speed with the hands and arms to start the swing, or to start the downswing, should I say. Feel it with that left hip, left knee, and then feel the speed after or through impacting into that follow through. Yeah, so I just generated speed after the ball, that felt like to me, but I kept this part of the swing a little bit smoother in that transition as I was working and thinking about my left hip, left knee, and not the hands and arms throwing that club to maximise my club head speed. Okay, bit of a different one there for you guys, and maybe take that and watch that other video that I did about soften the shaft too, very much tie in, because as you work that and keep that up behind, that's going to allow you to soften that shaft on that downswing. So give that a go on the driving range next time you're there. Really good one to work on through the winter, get some feelings, maybe do some short swings, some punchier ones, and build that up into full swings as you get the feeling, and then see how that ball striking goes from there. Thanks so much for watching, appreciate it as ever. Hit that subscribe button if you can, hit the bell icons to get notifications of any future videos like I mentioned earlier. Also hook up onto my Instagram at MNGolfCoach, and also my Twitter at MNGolfCoach also, and we'll stay in contact that way, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.